Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Joe Macaroni. Joe Macaroni explains it all. Today, I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the crazy, strange places people have relieved themselves. You know, relieving yourself. So, basically, where is the weirdest place you have ever peed? Here's some good, bad, and humorous adventures. Some weird urination spots. In an emergency, people will take a leak in the darndest places. Oh my gosh. Maybe they've had a few much to drink. I don't know what's going on, but nevertheless, here they are trying to hang on, but possibly can't. So, what to do, where to go. So, here is my first one. This is called pissing in a car ashtray. Many years ago, cars had ashtrays. I I had a friend who had to relieve himself while he was driving in his car because he had too many beers. And he was stuck, dead stuck in traffic with nowhere to go on the highway. What to do? Of course, the ashtray. What else? Good thinking. So he went to it. Big mistake. Why? Because in those days, the ashtrays had holes in the bottom. So what urine went in the ashtray came out of the ashtray. And where else could it go but all over him and all over his car? A good idea going bad. Poor guy. Must have been awful. Here's a second one about the drunk girl. Maybe there's some correlation between booze and where you go to the bathroom, but nonetheless. Years ago, two of my friends and I had the misfortune of having to save a girl from herself who was drinking with us. She got so inebriated, so drunk, she was totally out of it, totally clueless. In other words, she was plastered. There was no way she could drive, and we couldn't let her do that. That would be really wrong. She lived 30 miles away. What to do? Well, I drove her car, and my two friends rode in another car behind us. And we took her to the nearest motel we could find and booked her a room. And we gave the room clerk her car keys and said, do not give her her keys. Okay, so anyway, we help her to her room. As soon as she goes in, there's a closet in front of her. She opens the door of the closet, start to pull down her pants, and squat to go to the bathroom. Oh my gosh. We grabbed her and we dragged her into the restroom and just about carried her in there and then got the hell out of there. So what can I say? With the first video, it was beware of ashtrays in cars. In this video, it's beware of drinkers and closets, for sure. This is a third example of a weird place. Maybe not so weird, I don't know. This is called Dad and the Telephone Pole. As my father got older, he developed pugilistic dementia from over 125 professional fights. One day he was out with my sister. She related this story. She went into a store to pick up some things and left my father in the car. While she was checking out, she looked out the store window and saw my father. And there he was, standing next to a telephone pole, peeing on the sidewalk. Needless to say, She was pissed. No pun intended. That poor piss pole was never the same. Don't pee on poles, especially when you may have an audience. Next, something called headlights don't help. When I was a teenager, I was cruising around with my two best friends when one of them said, "I really have to take a whiz." He jumped out of the car on a relatively quiet street behind a hospital. And as he relieved himself, my other friend who was driving decided to put the headlights on him with the high beams. And there he stood in front of the car, trying to relieve himself, trying to stop himself from peeing all over himself. To say he was pissed would be like an oxymoron, because putting it mildly, he had peed his pants. Advice here is, if you go to pee, go behind the car, not in front of it. Here's another one, number 4. This is called Too Many Guys, Too Few Urinals. Many years ago, and for me, as you probably know, if you heard me before, everything was many years ago. I was at a packed arena for a basketball game. At the half of the guys, half of the people I think in there, swiftly headed to the men's rooms. There's only one problem. There were too many men busting to pee and too few urinals to pee in. What to do? Well, desperate guys started peeing in the sinks. I have to sadly admit I was one of them. It was either that or a disaster. Incidentally, the shorter guys and little kids couldn't do it. The message here is, oh wow, make sure you have urinals before you decide to relieve yourself. And make sure they're low enough for you. So, I actually have to go now. Presenting this video makes me have to go. This is Joe Macaroni, heading for the nearest urinal. Thank you for joining me. If you have to go, go right now. Thank you, and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.